The Sciforror Film Podcast. Hello and welcome back to the Sciforror Film Podcast. I'm Andy Walker and I have with me again, as always, my son Scott. Hello, Scott.
Hello.
And a Happy New Year to everybody out there.
Yes.
We cut things short last year, because of ill health and other things. And we are sorry about that. We are back. Some slight changes to the show. We are now doing it only once a fortnight rather than every week or thereabouts.
Sometimes I might do it in Klingon.
Yes, well, yes, well, why not indeed?
Well, yeah, it's all. We had to cut things short last year, and we were umming and ahhing about what we needed to do about it. So we made some changes for both of us, and hopefully people will be okay with it. To be honest,
well, yeah, I mean,
I think the people that listen to it will be, and we're still got people getting in contact with us, talking to us, and asking us to look at films and stuff like that. So
yeah, definitely. The news is that we will again this year be lucky enough to get tickets to report back from the Romford Horror Film Festival.
yeah,
I believe it's taking place in March, so look forward to that definitely.
yes.
And as I say, so we're going to be doing once a fortnight at the moment until we work out what's going on and see how that goes. So we're going to start off. Oh no, anyway, how you doing?
I'm all right, actually. I'm slightly injured, but that's my own old experience. Old injury playing up due to cold weather, and I don't want to say age because I'm only 32, and I know you're going to laugh at me, but
No,
me being stupid when I was younger is starting to catch up with me.
I know that thing.
How are you, Father?
Well, I wasn't very well last year, sort of like around November-ish. I was in hospital for a while and things, and I still haven't completely recovered from it, but I'm kind of getting better-ish. Still having some tests and things done and stuff. So hopefully, give it a year or two, I might be well. You never
Year
know
or two.
if I last that long.
Always a sunny ray of sunshine.
Well, that's what I'll be here for. So this week, this first episode, we are going to start off by doing just some short films. Now, a couple
Yes.
of these are ones that have been sent to us by people to have a look at, and the others haven't. We're going to do them anyway. Who cares? Right, we're going to start off with a film called People of the Dead. Now, this is a film by Nate Thompson. Now, we've interviewed Nate before, and we have talked to him and reviewed some of his films before, and he is now the proudly running the horror museum in Michigan,
Yes.
which apparently is at the moment having visits by old WWE wrestlers.
Yeah, by a lot of I'd say celebrities. They're very sort of older wrestlers that a lot of people in the older generation know.
Well, he's a couple of older wrestlers, but also Kane Hodder.
Yes, I was about to say he had Kane Hodder there I think last weekend that he had there. He's also done a lot of doing his own tattoo convention and things like that going on. He's sorting out things down there. So I'm surprised he's finding time to make films.
So all I'd say is, if there's anybody listening from around that way, if you want to go and have a look, I've been told it's very good. It looks very good from the pictures I've seen and everything I've seen of it. The Horror Museum in Michigan, definitely worth a look at.
And so, if you want to see part of it, watch the film as well, because
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's filmed in the museum. But
So
what he said about what he's got there is some extraordinary stuff.
yes, very odd stuff. Some props and things, but some other odd things as well.
Yes.
I don't know if he did say he was trying to get hold of a live raven. I don't know if he's actually managed to get one. He wanted to get a raven that he could train to talk and to sort of fly around. I don't know. Um, so anyway, the film. It's not a hugely long film.
No.
It's about what is it, 13 and a half, 40 minutes, something like
Yeah, about that.
that. I think that the camera work was excellent, and there was great use of the music to build up the atmosphere. Makeup and the effects, I think, were really good. I mean, it's not it's not got a huge amount in the way of storyline as such,
No.
but it is interesting, and there's a really good sort of jump scare thing at the end.
Mm. What was said before with some of the nice stuff is the fact that he's got a very good use of atmospheres with the way the suspense he can build up with the music and even some of the camera angles and sort of shots that you have. It sort of builds up the suspense more and builds that atmosphere.
Yeah,
I agree with you. The music was amazing on it. I'd say the makeup and the special effects work on it was amazing to see, especially with um, like the three sort of ghouls or ghosts or whatever they were at the end, and the sort of the look they had, but then the blood running down as well. I thought it was amazingly done.
yeah,
I agree with you. The jump scare was very well timed as well because that sort of that almost suspense. If you know it's sort of is it or is it gonna like is it or isn't gonna happen, and sort of a little bit of suspense and a build up. I thought was amazing.
yeah,
I really like it. It's not overly long and it's not got a lot of stories behind it, but it's not. I mean, it tells enough to sort of know.
yeah, yeah. No, I really like it too. I mean, he's supposedly, I don't know. He said he was working on some longer films, so as you say, I don't quite know when he gets the time. But
No,
hey, it's not like he's got a problem with locations, as it were. But
no, there is that.
so yeah, no, definitely worth a watch. Definitely worth looking at. The second film is called Optillus, and it's by Paradiso Cinema. These are the people that did the Intextigator
Yes,
films that we've reviewed all three of them, and we've interviewed the maker before. It is a bit long for a short film.
yeah.
It's an interesting idea, really well made. I'm not completely sure it fits in with our podcast remit.
I think it can. I suppose it does a little bit with the whole sci-fi of the science behind the optical illusions and the optic bit of it. But yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's one that's very. It's on the fence about how you perceive it.
I think it could be expanded into make a good psychological horror.
Yes.
Um, Using this as the basis for a longer sort of thing of psychological horror film would be really good, I think.
Even I'd say even if it was a horror or possibly either a web series to do as the fact that you saw the way they're looking to each case and stuff like that instead of it just being one like continual run through.
Yeah.
I like the science behind it. Um, it's very good because I've actually looked into. I don't know why I was randomly looking into stuff like this. It's just stuff that I do when I'm bored. It's the fact of looking into sort of different techniques, and there are a lot of people that have been doing stuff like this to see how the human brain perceives different images, and the fact that they've put this into a film and it is a unique idea to do it.
Oh yeah, as I say, I think the idea is incredibly interesting, and it's got
Mm,
so much potential.
yeah,
Um, And as I say, it's a well-made film. All of the films that we've watched by them have been really well made and really well put together and well edited. I think, as I say, for a short film, it's quite long and it doesn't really, for me, it didn't really go that anywhere to.
Yeah, it's a unique idea, and I think it's like you're saying, it's on the fence for if it's sci-fi or not. But yeah, compared to a lot of the other stuff we've done, which is blatantly definitely sci-fi horror, I
Yeah.
think it's a bit harder to tell what it is.
And I think if this idea was used as a basis for, as you say, even maybe a web series or a film or whatever, I think and expanded a bit, I think it could work really well and it could be really interesting to watch.
Yeah, it's like you said, as a psychological thriller, either a psychological thriller, horror or thriller, or even a sort of psychological sort of crime series would do it. It would fit perfectly for it. I'm
Yeah,
not too sure the sci-fi bit with it, but I'm saying the psychological horror or thriller would go down a storm.
absolutely. I think it would work really, really well. Okay, so our third short film is called Infinity. And this is done by the Million Youth Media, Big Elephant Pictures, and it's a Greg Francis film. And the screenplay is written by Martin Kushimo. Um, the Million Youth Media thing is a project that a lot of it kind of helps younger people from, I don't want to say disadvantage, that's a wrong way of putting it. Younger people from backgrounds that may not necessarily get the chance to do this sort of thing.
Yeah,
It enables them to be able to do,
yeah,
put a screenplay together and make these sort of films.
yeah. It gives them the opportunity to not be doing the stuff that a lot of people their age would be doing.
Yeah,
It's to get them out and doing things and giving them skills for later on in life.
yeah. Now this, it's an interesting idea. There's some interesting camera work in this. There's some quite odd angles and things, and the way the camera focuses on some things that are not what you would normally focus on, in as much as they focus on things that aren't the action as much,
Yeah,
which is quite interestingly done. Um, I mean, the basic thing is there's this creepy woman who's trapping people inside her flat. I mean, that's a real basic synopsis of the film. Um,
just a
I,
bit. Yeah,
I, I don't understand why he couldn't just why he changed his mind about staying, because he was going to
no,
go and then walked out to the front door and then came back, which was a
I
bit.
don't know. Yeah, it's one of them ones. I suppose you sort of feel guilty if she's making it seem like she's on her own, but I don't know. It's a very unique idea. I like the fact that it's the way that it's done and the way that it's perceived.
Mm,
Whether or not it doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but that's because I don't know why. But it was one of the things that did sit there. Like, why would you go back?
yeah,
But it's one of them things. It just shows the fact that there are still the whole sort of trust thing is the fact that if you're not perceived to be a threat, you can be, and that's the
yeah.
whole psychological bit by it. And it's just I do like it, but yeah, there's a lot of it that just I don't know, sort of it freaked me out a bit.
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is, there's some really jumpy editing.
Yeah,
Kind of adds to the strangeness of the film. And
yeah,
then you've got this guy, this bloke who just turns up and then suddenly turns threatening for no particular reason. Uh, it's very odd. There are some bits of it that are really quite odd.
yeah.
And I mean, it's got quite a bit of atmosphere to it, and it is odd, but I really like it. I thought it was really good.
It's really good. I like I like the idea of it. Yeah, I do agree with you. There are some weird camera angles and some odd focus moments, but the story, I suppose, behind it is still very good. The whole idea is very well put together.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Um,
I think
again, it just
the lighting and sound effects when they show you the inside the room where these people are that she's trapping, The
Yes,
lighting effects and the sound effects in there are really well done.
yeah. It's the so and the acting, I suppose, as well was
Yeah,
very well done. Apart from okay, the guy that was meant to be really threatening, I thought was very bizarre. But the acting for the rest of them was very, very well done for me.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. No, it is quite odd and it is quite creepy. This film, it's quite
Mm.
like, mm,
He's almost one of them films. It's sort of like I said, it's that sort of that being threatening, that whole sort of being a threat when you don't look it. Sort of one of the moments you watch a film like that and you go outside and go, can I trust anyone?
yeah, it's the person next door.
Yeah.
It is it is a
It's one of them films where if you're in a bad mental place, don't watch it and then go, I don't know where anyone is that I can trust or
but I mean, it again is really well made, and I think it's got a great look, and I think it's really, I really liked it. I thought it was really
yeah,
good.
I did. I really liked it. It's got it's another thing from people that are giving opportunity to people that probably wouldn't have thought of it to be able to do it.
Yeah,
And I like the fact that they're doing it and the fact they're creating a film like this.
absolutely. Okay, so number four, our fourth one is called Lancer 21, which I must admit, when I looked at this, I thought, haven't we done something with that title? But I don't think we
Mm.
have. We
No,
haven't
I
done
don't
this
think we
film.
have.
We haven't done this film, but maybe we did something with a similar title. I don't know. So Lancer 21. This is Dark Path VFX. It's a science fiction film directed by Dan um, Cirallo, Cirolio. Um, yeah, what did you think?
I genuinely, I it's weird. I really like this film. I don't. I'm not weird, but like, it took me a while to figure out what was going on.
Yeah,
To sort of, and I know that sounds really dodgy. Obviously, you mentioned if you know what's going on in the film, then what's the point of watching it? But it's the whole. There are a few films where you watch them and you go, "Well, that's obvious. Well, that's going to happen. That's going to be." But with this, it was only until you sort of the last couple of minutes of it that I went, "Oh,"
yeah,
and it all sort of wrapped together. I like the visual effects on it, the visual
yeah.
effects
Oh,
and
the
the
camera
sort
work
of
and the effects are brilliant.
yeah, the camera work and the effects were amazing. The acting of the guy as well, I thought was amazing,
Yeah,
and I just everything about it. It was the music to it as well, and the noise, the sounds to it. The camera work and the visual effects to it just built it all for me.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's an interesting film. It's very odd. What I like about it is that there isn't really any kind of attempt to explain what's going
No,
on.
it's
And I think
literally
that works because
yeah,
if you tried to explain it, you'd lose the whole
it's
feel of the film.
it is one of them things that sort of. This is why I think why I said it was saying it's a bit weird for me because it's almost that time loop sort
Yeah,
of film. That's one of the reasons why, but it's not blatant in your face. This is time travel. This is what's going on. It's a it's almost like a cosmic storm sort of thing because obviously being out in space. So it's not sort of thrown in your face about what's going on. It's not this is definitely time travel. This is what it, or it's sort of left to your own imagination with it.
yeah. It's just really well done, as I say, and the fact that it's not explained, I think, works well because if you try to explain it too much, it would lose a lot of the
Yeah.
feel. So, no, I like that. I really did like that film, to be honest. Okay, our fifth short film is called Imminent Arrival. This is Empty Can Films, a film by Justin Cruz. Uh, yeah, it's got there's some really good effects in this. It's a kind of sci-fi comedy, and it's quite funny, but also in a way, it's really not.
It's sort of funny, but it also one of the moments you look at it and go, this doesn't show the American population in a good light.
Well, not only that, but it's just there was a part of it that made me think, should I be laughing at this? Because this really seems quite serious.
Yeah, it's one of them moments where I'm sort of, it's almost that sort of nervous laugh you do because you're not
Yeah,
too sure. But yeah, no, there's part of it. I get the fact that there's people out there all over the world that are like it, and it's sort of is when you hear about people like this, it's 9 times out of 10 people automatically stereotype it as they're American, gun toting, and it doesn't help. But and the whole sort of government paranoia. But I do agree with you. The special effects to it, I think, were amazing. I I sort of I did chuckle to myself at the end when you realise that that's sort of the way that things are going nowadays.
Yeah,
Obviously, not so much with the spaceship, but with the drone technology and things like that that have been used to deliver stuff. But I just thought it was. I don't know. It's one of them films where I agree with you. I found it funny, but I'm not 100% sure whether or not I should have done.
yeah. No, I mean, it was a good mix of the humor and sci-fi were mixed together really well. They were
Yeah,
the right amount of each one, and it was really well made and well acted, well written. But it is the worry for me was the fact that when I got to the end of it, I thought that was funny, but it's also kind of like burying that's really kind of like where we could be heading. I
yeah.
don't know.
Well, it's one of it is like I said, it's the fact that there's enough there's enough sort of people out there, and it's not a bad thing. Worried about what's going on, the way technology's going, and stuff like that. It's sort of the whole I don't know, not knowing the fact that this stuff's out there,
Yeah,
and that sort of thing more worries people. But again, yeah, I did the same thing as you. As I got to the end, I thought that was quite funny, but I feel sort of bad for finding it funny.
yeah. The last film is I think it's called Reappearance. This is by Conundra. It's a film by Warner Brown. Very
Yeah.
short film. Very very short film.
Yes, it is very very short.
It's done a bit like a sort of dramatized documentary.
Yeah.
Now I have looked into this.
Oh, okay.
There are two types of dramatized documentary. Okay,
Yep.
you have one that is mostly drama and a little bit of documentary, which
Yeah.
is called dramumentaries.
Okay.
And there are ones that are mostly documentary with a little bit of drama, and they're called docudramas. This actually isn't either of those because it's completely fiction, but
Yeah.
it's done like one of those type of things.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing with good effects, good editing, well made. Um, but it's so short; it's difficult to really find a lot to say about it.
Yeah. It's really confusing because it's so short, but there's a lot of information as well about what's going on, and it's sort
Yeah,
of it's almost hard to tell unless you're. I suppose unless you know or you're paying a lot of attention to it, it's a bit hard to actually realise what's the film and what's not. But
it kind
I,
of reminds me of the thing that they do when they're doing a documentary or docudrama or whatever, and they do this thing at the beginning of it where they give you a basic thing of what the whole thing's about, and then they go into more detail.
yeah, they give you that little snippet of excitement for you to go, oh, and capture into it.
So it's all it's a bit like watching one of those. It's a bit like watching the first 5 minutes of a docudrama on Channel 5 or something, you know.
Yeah, I'd say it's for what was of it. It was very good sort of camera work and the effects of it. But
Hmm.
again, it's just so short that it's hard to say much about it. It's
I mean, I enjoyed it, but it was a bit kind of like, oh, is that it? You know.
yeah. As I say, there's a
That's
lot of
not because of,
information about what it was about and what the
as you
plane
say,
was.
that's not because of what was in it.
No,
That's just because it was so short. It was kind of like, oh, you blink and it's over.
yeah,
You,
it's
oh,
so
okay.
there's a lot of information about what the plane, about the actual plane and where it was filmed and everything like that, and the sort of
Yeah,
places it was filmed. But I think it could have been being a couple more minutes longer
yeah, maybe.
for it to make it to make a proper impact. Because it's I say it's a good film and sort of sit there and like you said, you blink and it's over.
It's not very often we say that films should be made longer.
No, it's not. I was just thinking that instead of in the first season, first episode back, we did see how much things have changed. We're actually going to say things that would be longer this time. But no, it's just for me. I think it was just too short. Like
Yeah,
it could have been with a couple of minutes longer, just to stretch it out a little bit for it to make a bit more of a not so much of a oh is that it, and
yeah,
not like but like you said, not in a bad way, but he's over and that's it. And it's I think it just a minute and a half longer, and it would have been fine.
absolutely. Right, so that's the 6 short films. We've got People of the Dead, Nate Thompson, Optillus, Paradiso Cinemas, Infinity from Mission Youth Media and Big Elephant Pictures, Lance 21 with Dark Path VFX, Imminent Arrival from Empty Can Films, and Reappearance from Conundra. We kind of liked all of those, which is an unusual.
Yeah.
Well, there wasn't anything that we thought wasn't any good, which is quite good. So we again, as always, I'll put there will be links to all of those films on YouTube for you to check them out yourselves. And if you disagree with what our what am I talking about? With our reviews and our sort of summing up of what the films are like, then please let us know. I mean, we are here for you, as it were.
And so it's just just have someone's feedback as well, just to sort of see if I don't know even if it's old episodes where people have gone through and gone, actually, did we think you missed a bit here? Just let us know.
Yeah. And if there are any films, short films or feature films that you have seen on YouTube, especially, or streaming somewhere that you would like us to review, then please let us know.
Yes.
And we will do our best to do that.
As long as it's on a free platform, not a free platform, but it's not one that you streaming service that you've then got to pay extra for,
Right. So
then we're happy to review it, unless it's only like a couple of pence, like a couple of pennies or whatever, then it's not a problem.
Most of the time, we like to do films that are on YouTube that anyone can watch for
yeah,
nothing.
there's available to anyone and everyone.
Yeah, so we'll take it from there. Next episode, we've already got a film that we've been asked to review, which isn't actually going to be out for people to watch. It will be on YouTube, but it won't be until March. They're going to roll things out in March, but it's not going to be available everywhere at the same time.
Yes.
And that's a film it's been made by our friends at Strange Films, who we've reviewed a few of their films before, and we've interviewed them, and that was way back in a few seasons ago. But they've contacted us, and they've got a film they'd like us to have a look at, and we're going to do a review of it, and then it will be available for you to check out from March.
Yes.
So we're going to be doing that, and we're going to probably be doing another feature film as well.
It should be good.
So yes, welcome back to everybody. Hope you're listening in, and that you will continue to enjoy our
soothing voices.
Yeah, something like that, whatever. And stuff. And over the next year, we will hopefully put some reviews on here for interesting films that you will go out and watch and experience, and like that kind of thing.
I would like to say as well, for all the people that contacted us and messaged us when we part saying about the fact we were taking a break and sort of gave us that bit of inspiration and the kind words and all that, we do appreciate it. We thank you for sticking with us and saying to us everything and sort of, I don't know, sort of guiding us through when we needed that sort of little bit of a break. Or go,
yeah,
give us a little bit of a push and help us out a little bit. We do appreciate it, and we thank you so much.
Yes, thank you very much for everybody and all your support.
Yes.
I'll bring it back to you once it's been washed. The Prince's Truss. Any road up. So that's our show for now, and we will be back again at some point in the next couple of weeks or something, and everything like that. Thank you, Scott, for being part of the show as always.
Oh, I'm glad to be back and doing this and having something to do.
And we will see you all again, or you will see us again, and we will be here again. Thank you very much, and all that kind of thing. Bye.
Bye.
The Sciforror Film Podcast.